One. We are recording.
Good evening. Thank you for joining today's meeting. Our primary focus is to identify the root problem Mid-City Bank is facing and develop plausible solutions. To effectively do so, we will be discussing all the problems that the bank is facing, defining the main problem, establishing criteria, generating possible solutions, and finally evaluating those solutions. Before we get started, we can do a brief introduction of our team members. Myself, Ashley, will be providing a brief overview of today's agenda and objectives. Chris was unable to attend the meeting due to a schedule conflict. Cynthia will be leading tonight's discussion and guiding us through the agenda. Brandon will be overseeing technical aspects, recording the meeting, and taking detailed notes. Fulla will be closing the discussion, summarizing key points, and generating the plausible solution. And Elisa will help ensure the group stays on track and adheres to the time. So let's begin with introducing the problem. There are several problems that are apparent in the case. With the influx in account closures and loan request numbers being lower, it may have been a result of the shift from the personalized experience to an automated one. Does anyone else see any other problems that are apparent that with Mid-City Bank?
I think that it could be challenges with the employees just grasping the use of the system because they've not given us any data that says that it's due to the communication system. It's just that they've lost customers.
And the employee not adapting the new technology.
Right. And I also feel it may not fit their needs of what they want to. It's not best utilized for their particular company. But I think that if it's not working properly, they can always call the contractor where they paid $200,000 to come and check it out to see if it's working properly.
Yeah.
Does everybody else agree, or have you any other forethought?
I think the most of the people that are associated with the bank or do have accounts, maybe we'll say a ballpark of 30% are elderly and they're not comfortable with technology. They grew up in very old times, so they're used to being more of a hands-on situation, wanting their information to be trusted with another person instead of a robot.
Right, but I think what I recall is that many other people in the industry have changed as well, the other banking industry, and they've lost customers to their competitors. So what do we all think about how are we going to solve it? Do you agree that it's employees not getting used to the new system?
I think they probably wasn't trained good enough. They kind of just implemented it instead of, having to talk with the employees or saying anything.
Okay. So we will use that as we think it's the employees getting used to the new system. All right. So what do you think we should ask? Who should we talk to about it?
I think we should get a feedback from the customers and from the employee to be able to solve the problem and see what's the cause. Why they're losing so much business and profit.
Should we read the warranty to find out if it covers field visits and technical support?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And kind of going back to what Fulla said too, of like getting associates input too. They could do like implement focus groups then to get their feedback. If they're like working in certain areas, like if they're seeing an influx of issues because of like loans, or if it's because of checking accounts or savings accounts or vice versa, like maybe separating them out and seeing where the issues are within each of those specific areas.
Right. And then we can also, we can ask the contractor if they training as well to the internal staff.
Sure. If the employee are well trained and
Yes,
they're knowledgeable, then they will keep the customer and they will like get more profit out of that.
right. Because
So
I
it has
think,
to start with the employee first.
yes,
I think it's important to make sure they, yeah, the employees know that information and then go on to get other people's inputs.
and then they can all, as a last resort, I think, can we call Ralph Wong, the person that provides the best technical support in town, if it's not a technical issue or if they can't help us with that? Or what do you think some possible solutions are for that? If we narrowed it down.
You could possibly put out a survey for the customers, to make sure, are they comfortable with the new service? Do they feel comfortable with talking to a robot? Would they rather talk to somebody that's personal information, get a feedback from the customers.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, Brendan. And then like asking them more specifically if there's certain features within the new system then that they are dissatisfied by, or that maybe the employees can get better training on, so then they can help their customers.
Oh, yes, I like that.
The most important thing is to make sure that we're serving our customers as best as we can. And not having their feedback is very, very important to make sure that we run very smoothly because, we're dropping left and right. People are going to different banks and applying to different stuff. We're losing business. So important to make sure our customers are satisfied, knowing that their problems are being answered, knowing that they're important to us, just making sure that we have our customers back.
Right. Well, do you think the profits are lower perhaps because the other banking institutions have pulled like, as you mentioned earlier, like the millennials and the elderly people, I hate saying that, I'm one of those, have remained because of it being feeling like a small town, a smaller feel for them because of the advanced technology. Do you think that perhaps that's part of the pool of customers we've lost?
I think if there was a way to like tailor the communication system to make it more like customizable, just so they have that, I don't know, personable touch then that they are going to get through the new technology where they might not always get a representative. I think that's an alternative.
Oh, I like that.
And it could also be we could also, implement some of our employees' voices instead of it being you call and it's as answering to a machine. It could be talk to an employee first, and then if the line's busy, then we'll plug you into a machine that'll better serve you. Or if it's too many people on the call, we'll plug it into the machine. Just having more options. Rather they either choose to talk to an employee or talk to the machine.
Well, I think we had some great ideas, but so in conclusion, what do you feel our specific problem is, and what do you you think we should do to solve it in conclusion? Do we all agree what the problem is, or are there any other ideas?
Hmm. And then I really can think of.
Do you have any ideas, Elisa, in this last minute or so?
I agree with what everyone kind of nailed it on the ideas.
So are we saying that the problem could be with the internal employees not knowing how to use the system?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, so we are saying that we believe that the employees don't know how to use the system, and training would most likely be the best idea to help, the best solution. Is that we would just call the technical support communications contractor and have them come back out and check the system, and then also ask them if they could provide training. Would that be a good conclusion, Fulla?
Yeah, I think so. Because knowledgeable in banking is very important, especially like as a banker, they need to know what they are talking about, so people can be have a trust with their money. Otherwise, like as we had happened, like the customer will leave if they don't know the person in front of them what they are talking about. So they have to be knowledgeable in order for us to have a successful business and profit.
Okay, great. And that concludes.